All right, crypto aficionados, we got some news for you now. The SEC has issued a major warning after the fake ETF news, which, by the way, I still think could have actually been started by them in the first place in order to make a new excuse of why BTC is easily manipulated and why they should be able to deny the ETF. But they issued a warning that fake news is easily spreadable. So obviously they're going to try to pounce on this and probably search for a way somewhere in there to deny the ETF. Now, I don't really know if this is going to work. So basically, after today's fake news that the ETF has been approved, the SEC swiftly responded with a pointed reminder about the reliability of online information. I think they are going to crack down on this, or at least pretend to crack down on this. So basically, following a tumultuous day marked by crypto-related misinformation, the US SEC took to social media to issue a stark warning. The agency message states, "Careful what you read on the internet. The best source of information about the SEC is the SEC." So obviously, they're telling you, unless we say it on our website, it does not really count. I'm not really sure how Cointelegraph made the misstep in reporting, but it did cause a lot of people to lose a lot of money. $71 million was liquidated in shorts. I can smell a lawsuit coming a mile off from Cointelegraph. Someone's going to have to get fired, and someone is going to have to pay for that article. On the bright side, we've seen the power of the crypto pump that could possibly happen. Remember, this fake news actually pumped it by like 2,000 points. Imagine how much real news could pump it. And it was killed like 5 minutes later because BlackRock said their ETF was still under consideration and had not been accepted. When the real news hits, I expect it to be several times the pump this is right now. I don't really know when that's going to be, hopefully within the next few weeks. A lot of the Bloomberg analysts have said that we are going to expect one by January 10th, and they might wait up until January 10th to make that decision because the SEC likes to take every bit of their time deciding these things. Another worrying thing about this is that Binance's BTC liquidity basically went to zero once this news hit because everyone was trying to buy BTC at this point. So there was massive, massive demand when this happened. And remember, Bitcoin holdings on exchanges have actually dropped by a massive, massive amount in the last couple of months. Not because people don't really want to use exchanges, because people are actually getting more used to self-custody. And due to that, the exchange liquidity has fallen. So, a massive spur on of buy by Bitcoin can really, really spring the price up, but then the subsequent sale could really sell it down. There's little liquidity, so there actually might be more volatility in the time to come because low liquidity brings more volatility because any big or a sell or buy could actually bring the price up. So be very wary of that. If you see a sudden pop in price, you might want to sell and take those profits because of that, especially if you're leveraged. You should not be leveraged ever, especially large leverage. But if you are, remember to take them profits. If you don't take them profits, you just might be hurting later on. So yeah, BTC, definitely Bitcoin definitely has very little liquidity on the exchanges. So, if you're setting buy orders on the way up, you just might be, buying the price up as well. So, make sure to set your orders beforehand so you can actually get in on the price you want once prices start rising up, because they will rise up very fast after a couple of resistances or supports actually get broken. So you don't really want to be caught in the flux there. That's the lesson to actually take away from it all right now. So SBF's lawyers are getting a little bit desperate, and now they have another argument, and this argument is because of SBF's FTX's terms of services by CoinDesk, they actually said that he's actually allowed to steal customer money. That's right, all your money belongs to him. So basically, they're moving on to another phase. Obviously, the defense has realized that the testimony by Gary Wang, Carolyn Ellison, and Nishad has basically pwned any chance of SBF actually getting off scot-free. But they're saying that he didn't actually break a law because FTX's terms of service said the exchange could actually use customer funds in that way, and losing a lot of money is actually not a crime. Now, there's a little bit of a caveat to this because, sometimes it doesn't really matter what you say in your terms especially if it's written in fine print, the judge will rule that, it's still fraud regardless. But I guess that could play into like how many years you're going to get. So basically, like, the defense is formulating a new strategy, but they're basically saying because of FTX's terms of use, they say like the relationship was governed by its terms of service. So the question of whether Almeida's use of customer fiat deposits was permissible within the scope of the relationship, and thus whether a theft of property occurred, which is the entire thing, is governed by foreign law. So they're saying it's not even under US law, it's under foreign law, it's under Bahamas law, so this shouldn't even be happening. So the thing is, like, I'm not really sure. I mean, technically FTX, not FTX.us, but FTX did actually incorporate in the Bahamas, so they might actually have a point there. But I think if you're defrauding people of money, it's kind of another thing altogether. I don't think you could actually write into the terms that you're allowed to defraud people. I just don't think that works. So it is the defense's position that the rights and obligations, and this is directly from the court case, of parties to a commercial relationship are not established by their expectations and understandings for purposes of the misappropriation theory of the federal fraud statutes. So basically, like, according to FTX's terms of service, which governs FTX's customers' digital assets, that FTX holds the title to your digital assets shall at times remain with you and shall not transfer to FTX trading. And that, I think, kills their entire argument. Basically, like, they did actually transfer your assets to FTX trading, so they did actually violate, indeed, their terms of service. So Sam Bankman-Fried is guilty as they come. So another part is, in their customer agreement, none of the digital assets in your account are property of or shall be loans to FTX Trading. FTX Trading does not represent or treat digital assets in the user's accounts as belong to FTX Trading, which they did. Remember, that is the whole point of commingling funds, that you're using customer funds. So I think the defense's argument is basically crap. And I think, like, at least for those trading on FTX.us, which I guess didn't actually go bankrupt, they would actually be violating this. But even in foreign law, I'm pretty sure most countries don't actually let you defraud customers. I mean, there might be a small one out there that's like, oh, defrauding customers is perfectly fine. But I think most countries, including the Bahamas, do not actually let you defraud customers. And I don't think the judge is actually going for this. So the defense's argument, I don't think actually carries any water, because FTX specifically says that you are not allowed to use customer funds for trading. And that's exactly what SBF did. So regardless of where he is definitely guilty 100%. And let's actually build on that, because when could FTX customers get their money back? Well, they could get a $9 billion shortfall claim payout by mid-2024, and this is via Cointelegraph. So there's a proposed settlement that could see creditors receive a shortfall claim of $8.9 billion for FTX.com and $166 million for FTX.us. So it's like 99% FTX.com and 1% FTX.us, because I guess most of FTX losses were FTX.com. So basically, they could see over 90% of assets returned to them by the end of the second quarter, and that's when you can get your money back. So remember that. So basically, like, the debtors said they reached a major milestone in their Chapter 11 case after extensive discussions. Now, to be honest, I think the major debtors and creditors are going to actually get their money first before we get our money. Now, I didn't have any money in FTX.us, so I'm not really waiting for this. But for those of you that are waiting to see where you can get your money back, probably like the second half of next year. It could actually basically last a while, because their creditors actually get money first, and then there's like some kind of like preferred like debtor stuff, and then like, customer assets, and then like, I think the investors last. If those of you that invest in FTT, I don't think you're getting your money back, because that basically just went to zero. So I wouldn't really be counting on that. So basically, yeah. So they'll be dispersed by the end of the second quarter in 2024 if approved by the bankruptcy court. So their current CEO said, today, starting in the most challenging financial disaster I've ever seen, the debtors and their creditors have created enormous value from a situation that could have easily been a nearly total loss for customers. So you might actually be getting the majority of your money back. So FTX users, don't fret. And I think this will actually boost confidence in the crypto industry. if they can get the majority of the money back from FTX. So eligible customers that have preference settlement amount of less than $250,000 during the 9-day period would be able to accept settlement without any reduction, claim, or payment. So I'm guessing most of you had less than $250,000 in the account, so you should actually be okay. I know it's going to take almost 2 years, but hey, it's better than getting nothing back. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.